Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're retaking a deep dive into the murky waters and shadowed forests of a place that is as beautiful as it is bizarre. Bull Shoals, Arkansas. Nestled in the Ozark Mountains, this seemingly peaceful resort town, famous for its massive lake and world-class fishing, hides some truly strange and unsettling tales. So grab your life jacket, because we're about to navigate some seriously mysterious waters. The story of Bull Shoals begins with the construction of its dam in the late 1940s to create the vast Bull Shoals Lake. Entire towns had to be submerged. Places like Promise, Lead Hill, and Oakland were slowly swallowed by the rising waters of the White River. Cemeteries were relocated, homes were abandoned, and a way of life was drowned forever. Locals will tell you that on quiet, still nights, when the moon is just right, you can still hear the faint peal of church bells ringing from beneath the waves. Some fishermen even claim to see eerie lights glowing deep in the water, marking the locations of the forgotten towns. Are these just reflections, or are they the lingering spirits of a community that refuses to be forgotten? One of the most enduring legends of the area is that of the Bull Shoals Beast. For decades, residents and visitors have reported sightings of a large, hairy, bipedal creature lurking in the dense woods surrounding the lake. Descriptions vary, but most agree it's massive, covered in dark fur, and emits a terrifying, high-pitched scream that echoes through the hills. One of the most famous accounts comes from the 1970s, when a group of campers had their site completely ransacked. They found huge, unidentifiable tracks around their tents and heard something incredibly large crashing through the underbrush just beyond the light of their campfire. Skeptics say it's just a bear, but those who've seen it or heard its chilling cry are convinced it's something else entirely. A genuine Ozark howler, or perhaps even a Bigfoot, drawn to the isolation and ruggedness of the mountains. The land around Bull Shoals is also riddled with caves, and with caves come their own set of mysteries. One particular legend speaks of a hidden treasure, the lost Spanish gold of the conquistadors. The story goes that centuries ago, a Spanish expedition, heavy with gold from their ventures, was ambushed in the Ozarks. To save their loot, they supposedly hid the treasure deep within one of the limestone caves near the White River. Over the years, countless treasure hunters have searched for this fortune, following cryptic maps and local folklore. Some have claimed to find strange markings on cave walls or artifacts that don't belong, but the treasure itself remains elusive. The caves, however, are not always welcoming. There are stories of explorers becoming hopelessly lost, their lights mysteriously failing, or hearing whispers in a language they can't understand echoing from the darkness. It's as if something is guarding the treasure, or perhaps the caves themselves just don't want to be disturbed. And what about the hauntings? The Bull Shoals area has more than its fair share of ghost stories. The historic mountain village, 1890, a collection of authentic Ozark buildings moved to the area, is said to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors and staff have reported seeing shadowy figures in the windows of the old church, hearing disembodied footsteps on the wooden floors of the general store, and feeling sudden, inexplicable cold spots. One of the most active spirits is said to be a young girl in a white dress, often seen playing near the old schoolhouse before vanishing into thin air. Perhaps these are the spirits of the original inhabitants, attached to the buildings they once called home, now living out their days in this recreated village. Then there's the strange case of the ghost lights. Similar to the more famous spook light on the Missouri-Oklahoma border, people near Bull Shoals have reported seeing mysterious, floating orbs of light dancing along the ridges and back roads. These lights, sometimes white, sometimes red or blue, appear out of nowhere, hover for a while, and then vanish just as quickly. They don't seem to follow any logical pattern. Some say they are the spirits of Native Americans who once inhabited this land, while others believe they are connected to UFO activity, which is another topic altogether in the Ozarks. Scientific explanations point to swamp gas or car headlights reflecting off the hills. But for those who've witnessed the lights bobbing and weaving through the trees, those explanations just don't seem to fit. Let's not forget the lake itself. Beyond the ghost towns at its bottom, Bull Shoals Lake has its own modern mysteries. People have reported strange whirlpools appearing in perfectly calm water and sudden, rogue waves that seem to come from nowhere. Fishermen have told tales of hooking something enormous, something that fought with unnatural strength before snapping their strongest lines. They'd say it felt bigger and stronger than any catfish or gar they'd ever encountered. Could there be some kind of unknown creature living in the deepest, darkest parts of the 700-foot-deep lake? A true-life lake monster? Or maybe it's just the memory of the wild, untamed river that once flowed here, still fighting against its man-made prison. From phantom towns to hairy beasts, and from lost treasure to ghostly lights, Bull Shoals, Arkansas, is a place where the line between folklore and reality seems to blur. It's a reminder that even in our modern world, there are still pockets of wilderness and mystery that defy easy explanation. The natural beauty of the Ozarks is undeniable, but it's the strange tales whispered on the wind and reflected in the dark waters of the lake that truly make this place unforgettable. So next time you find yourself in the Ozarks, maybe take a trip to Bull Shoals. Go for the fishing, stay for the scenery, but keep your eyes and ears open. You never know what strange things you might encounter. What do you think? Are these just campfire stories, or is there something genuinely strange happening in Bull Shoals? Let me know your own theories, or if you have any local stories to share in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.